Hey guys, Tychondrius here again doing another action figure review, and this is for something I got in the post there recently, and it's for the HiyaToys new Colonial Marines Xenomorph Raven. Now, if you're not familiar with this creature, this is one that turns up in the Aliens Colonial Marines games that was released on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, I think it was. Not sure if it was PS3, but I know it was definitely on the 360 because I had the game myself, and it was also on PC. So basically, what this is a kind of new concept creature that they came up with for the video game, and HiyaToys have gone ahead and created this one. Now, they also did another kind of unique creature to that game, which is called the Crusher, which is the next creature that, or the next video that I'll be reviewing. I have that one as well, but for now, I'm just going to review the Raven on its own, and then do the Crusher on its own separate video. So, moving the figure aside, the box that comes in is one of these. It's kind of standard Alien Colonial Marines, as this is it's the same design that they've used for the aliens from the figures from the game that they did. So again, if you're not familiar with HiyaToys, they've done a range of Colonial Marines and aliens, lurkers, boilers, the lurker alien, the boiler alien, the warrior alien, and the spitter are the aliens that they've done so far. I'm not too sure if they released APC yet. I know it's been in development for a while. It could be released already. I was going to get it, but the price point to me is a bit too high. I think it was like nearly $300. But it fits the Marines, so it is in scale to the Marines, and you can fit a full platoon of Marines in it. So it is really, really cool. It's just, unfortunately, I can't afford it. But the other figure that they did as well is the power loader. I never picked that up. I really want to get it at some point, but at the moment I just haven't got around to getting it. So the figure itself, if I just move the stand aside and try and get him to stand, he's a little bit cumbersome to stand on his own. You can get him to do it, but it just takes a little finesse to get him into that just right spot where he'll stand on his own with no support. Bear with me a moment, see if I can get him to stand up. There we go. Now hopefully he won't flop forward on me. But just to do a measurement. So from the base of his feet to about the tip of the ridges on the back of his head, he's a little under 7 inches. So he's quite a big figure. He's pretty much in scale to the Marines. The Marines are 4-inch figures, whereas this creature was larger than a standard alien xenomorph. So it is in scale. So for articulation, actually, before I go on to articulation, I'll go on to the accessories, because there's not as many as them. So you get these two base plates. These are identical to the ones that came with the Marines, and you also get a set of these with the Crusher. So for this one, you get 2 of them. The Crusher comes with 4 because of the size of it. And the way they work is you get these little clips, these H clips. And I know I'm kind of doing it off screen, but on the back of on the bases, they have these holes that you can put together. You push those little pegs in, and they hold together. They are, if you're familiar with their Predator line they did, it's the same idea as the bases on those. You get those little H kind of style clips, and the bases just lock together like that. And there's peg holes on the bases, so you get plug for this guy is a bit hard to see, but just at the front of the feet where the hinges, just in front of that, there's actually peg holes, and you can peg him onto that and have him standing on the base. So it does look pretty sweet on the base, but onto the figure itself. Now the figure is fantastic. I really love the sculpt on it. So some of the joints are quite tight, so I do recommend caution when moving them. So the arms can go out that much and in that much. He has a dual jointed elbow, so he has a joint here just at the base of the elbow and a joint here just at the base of the wrist. There is a swivel on it as well. There is also a ball jointed wrist with a swivel. You do get extra sets of swappable hands. Now one thing that's interesting is there's one set that looks identical to the normal hands. The only difference, or the hands that you get packaged on it, The only difference is the thumb just seems to be curved in a little bit more, like a little bit more of a grasp. Other than that, they look identical, and then you kind of got these more relaxed hands, so you got a left and a right of the relaxed hands. Back to the articulation, the head is on a dual joint, so you got one here at the base of the neck and one at the base of the head, so you got double joints on that. You have a opening mouth with a extending jaw. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it has the extending jaw. I love the head sculpt on this. It looks exactly like it did in the game, where it has like kind of a, it looks like the dome part is cracked open and you can see the skull underneath. These ridges are actually articulated, they're on hinges, and so is this back spine, so you can get a little bit extra head movement, or you can push it back up if you need to. Tail is on the bendy wire. It doesn't swivel or anything like that, but the tail itself is on a bendy wire, and he has this massive stinger, scorpion stinger style thing. Sculpting work is fantastic on this. He does have a upper ab crunch. He doesn't really go down and up too much, but he does swivel side to side quite nicely with it. And you can tilt. You can get a slight bit of tilt on the head as well. As I said, he has a dual jointed elbows. He has kind of chicken leg thing going on, so you have a hip joint up here that has a rotation and a joint on it, and then you have dual jointed knees, so you have a joint there on the knee just at the base of the kind of thigh, and then another one at the top of this part of the leg, and then you got another joint here just where the kind of foot joins onto the rest of the ankle, so it can go forward and back, and then you have the hinge on the feet. And as I said, he has two peg holes, he has one on either foot, but he is a little bit top heavy in the sense that because of the way he's, not the way he's designed, but because of the way the actual creature is designed, he's quite a bit of a bulky figure when you get above the head, the waist. You can see the waist is quite tiny on him, but the base does help to alleviate that a small bit, so you can get him to stand using the base, and he does look, as I said, he looks quite cool on the base. So just for a size comparison, I just get him to stand on his own. Here he is with the first Marine that they did, which is the Quintero Marine. Well, they were initially released three together, sorry. Hicks, Hudson and Quintero were all released together, and now, as far as I know, there's a new bunch of Marines just after being released. Just get him to stand without him falling flat on his face. Bear with me a moment. There you go. So you can see just how large this creature is compared to a standard Marine. Here he is with the City Hunter Predator that they released. Again, standing these guys is a little bit awkward. You have to get them in just the right spot. Here it is with one of the older Marine figures that were released by HiyaToys. Oh, there goes the Predator. These were pretty much in scale to each other. And then, because I have them handy, here is the Spitter. Again, they have really tiny legs, so, or spindly legs more than tiny legs. So sometimes there goes everyone. Getting them to stand is a bit of a pain, and knocked a pawn's head off. This HiyaToys one is actually supposed to be a pawn, which is a figure that HiyaToys have not done. I'm not sure if they will do. So just get people to stand would be handy. And then just for another size comparison, because get the Predator to stand. If not, he's just going to have to lie flat on the ground beside everyone. This is the HiyaToys version of the Lurker, which is essentially the big chap alien. It's like the Colonial Marines version of the big chap. Oh, and there goes everyone again. But you get the idea. He is a large, fairly large version of an alien. He has all the same kind of characteristics of a standard alien with kind of biomechanical look to it and the kind of bone kind of style armor plating and the biomechanical bone stuff. So he's quite a cool figure. Won't bother standing everyone else up again, but overall he's a really cool figure. I do recommend picking him up. I got mine through Big Bad Toy Store. I'm not sure what other stores kind of carry them at the moment. I'm not sure if you can get them at normal retail or if you have to order them specifically online. But as I said, I got mine through Big Bad Toy Store. They have them in stock at the moment. I'm not sure if they're going to sell out quickly because sometimes when they sell out, they don't get them back in again. So it is worthwhile kind of grabbing them if you can. You can get them through eBay as well. Some of the Chinese sellers and some of the other kind of sellers through eBay have them as well. But some of them seem to pay a premium extra price for them as well. So I think they're about $40 on Big Bad Toy Store. I can't remember off the top of my head how much they were. I got this one and Crusher together, so I think they were about 30. They're about 30 or 40 each between the two of them. But they are quite a good figure. I have heard a few issues of people getting some with some QC issues. So far mine haven't had any QC issues. I think it's mainly due to some of the joints snapping. I do recommend if you do get these guys and the joints feel a little bit tight to give them a dip into kind of warm, kind of pre-boiled water, because sometimes you just be careful when doing it, but sometimes you just need to loosen the joint a bit just so it kind of gives it a little leeway to move. I had to do that with the aliens, and I definitely had to do it with the predators because of the paint apps on the predators. Even still, this the city hunters, the left leg on this one isn't the best. It tends to want to bounce back and not pose, whereas the right leg you can actually move on the ball joint. It's just whatever way the ball joint is on this one, it just seems to want to spring back into the default kind of position. But all in all, Raven is a cool figure. Can't recommend it enough. It's really cool. The sculpting work is fantastic. And if you want a kind of really big creature, alien creature to go along with your G.I. Joe's, Star Wars, or anything like that, it does fit in quite nicely with those as well. So, there you go guys. Just a quick video review for the Raven figure from HiyaToys. As I say in my videos, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this review. Cheers guys.